Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of Cosplay with Arena. In this video, I'm going to be showing off my build on my Rogue One style Vader chest box for my Vader cosplay for the 501st Legion. This is actually a really fun build, and it's actually a mixture of 3D printed parts as well as some aluminium parts, which I'll link in the description down below. So without further ado, let's get straight to it.
Alrighty, so we'll start off with the base plate. I basically got this excellent 3D file of the base plate from an artist called Empire 3D from Cult 3D, which I'll leave a link down in the description from below. The print came out nicely, but like most 3D prints, it actually had some print lines, so I was able to sand it down with an electric sander to remove all the print lines, then give it a fine spread of some body filler, and then repeat the process, and you basically have yourself a smooth surface. I know it looks messy right now, but once we sand it down and painted it, it's gonna look as smooth as glass as much as possible, as well as screen accurate. And if you're not happy with the finish, just repeat the process, sand back, and you have yourself a smooth surface to work with. The last step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knock off the hard edges on the body filler with an electric sander. Unfortunately, I didn't film the last process of coating it with some sand black paint. If you're curious about spray painting, be sure to watch the Road to the Batsuit Part 3 video on my channel. For the buttons and switches, it's the same process as the base, but we end up using the razor blade as a way to smooth out the body filler to fill out all those print lines. When it came to the buttons and switches, be sure to take your time on the body filler. Any marks or scratches will show up on the final result because they're not black. Once we sand back the body filler, be sure to sand back the high-rise areas with some high-grip sandpaper as a way to make the surface as flat as possible before we move on to some fine-grip sandpaper, which will later on smooth out the surface, making it smooth enough for the primer and paint to stick onto, which will give you the finished results. Now we're moving on to some fine grip sandpaper. Keep in mind, once you actually sand down the surface, be sure to rub your finger onto it to feel any lumps or bumps or high-rise areas, so you could re-sand it down to throughout the next step. And for the push buttons, it's basically the same step as the switches. Sand back with the high grip sandpaper to remove any high areas, and sand it down with some fine grit sandpaper to give it a smooth surface, which will be ready for painting. And before the priming and painting process, I'm just going to attach the chest box rods as well as the coin slots from Phoenix Props, which I'll leave a link down in the description below, just to show up all that high-rise detail and will match up with the other parts of the suits. For the switches and buttons, give it a fine couple of coats of some filler primer, which I got a can of at Super Cheap Auto, just so it will cover the entire surface, which you would see later on in the next footage. Sand back with some fine grip sandpaper until it's smooth as glass, which will lead to the next step, which will be painting them into the correct color code, like the rules guide said on the Civ Training Temple websites. Now we're just gonna paint one of the buttons red with some red pressure pack from Rust-Oleum. And as for one of the switches, don't mind the mannequin in the background, please. Paint one of the switches with some grey primer from Rust-Oleum for the free switches, as well as one of the switches white to match what we see in Rogue One. And finally, once we get all the switches and buttons painted, it's best just to stick them onto the base with some 227 sticker flex, give them a matte clear coat, and they are ready to go.
And there you have it. My Vader chest box is done and dusted. Overall, pretty happy with the end result. The hardest part for me was actually keeping it in with the 501st Legion rules for full authenticity, but overall, I think it came out spectacular. So without further ado, big thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Like, subscribe, and comment to my YouTube channel. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.